it seems like very fun to do something that is more than art, because in NFT space you can do like the big project. NFT is like non-fungible token, which is unique and non-interchangeable. It occurs on the blockchain system that, as we all know, that everything on the blockchain will be recorded. People cannot just redo what you just did in the NFT. And also NFT is used to represent the digital asset, like such as the image, video, or audio, anything in the form of digital file.
Okay, welcome to the Fruiting Body podcast with your host, Brendan O'Neill. We are here in Phuket, Thailand, and today we have an amazing podcast. I don't know, everyone I say is amazing, but this one truly is. We will be talking with Lex. He is a former guest. He is the Phuket refugee. He's been stuck in Phuket for almost 20 months, and it's going on to 2024. We're going to be talking about NFTs today, and we had a lovely lady, Mix, fly in from Bangkok. She is an NFT expert. Well, let's not build it up that way because, again, NFT is a new space, so we're going to more or less on this podcast discuss what we've learned so far after the past 6, 7, 8 months and teach you guys more about the terminology, the functionality of NFTs, what NFTs are, understanding the Metaverse, the Sandbox, the Decentraland, understanding gas prices, and we'll even walk you through the step-by-step tutorial of OpenSea. By the end, we'll do a Q&A with Mix, and we'll also dive deep into what she's selling as well in terms of her NFTs, Pigaboo. Lex will go over different NFT artists out there and the importance of Twitter. So let's get some clout from those Bangkok bros as well. Without further ado, we will start this podcast right away. So let's go. Oh, by the way, smash the subscribe, like, follow, go follow Mix. We'll put up all that Instagram handle stuff. And yeah, you better subscribe or I don't know what I'll do, but yeah, subscribe. Okay, so let's get this started. First, we will start with Lex, and let's do a quick introduction. Not so much on how you've been a refugee, but more of how you got into NFTs and how that all started.
Yeah, sure. So I've been online teaching for about 2 years now, and it gives me a lot of time on the computer. But about almost this time last year, a little bit more towards Christmas, I started to hear about Beeple and his big explosion onto the scene, and the NFT sort of craze for me started there. And I was like, how do I not know about this thing? So I contacted a friend of mine who's really into collectibles. He's in the card, baseball card stuff. And so I asked him, hey, this feels a lot like baseball card collectibles. What do you think about it? He's like, it's not really for me. Have you heard of NBA Top Shot? So then I checked out NBA Top Shot, and I told him, I'm a collector by heart. And I've always collected records or baseball cards, basketball cards. And whenever I'd go home to the States, I'd buy a pack just to open it because it's fun. And I was like, man, I'd give anything to open a pack right now. He's like, well, you should get into Top Shot. I was like, well, tell me about this. So I went and checked it out. It was an NFT platform all to itself. And you can get in these pack drops and get these cool little video clips that are just like having sort of a baseball card. It's like the next evolution.
So it's essentially like you were getting into trading digital baseball cards, and that's kind of how that started. And as we discussed before, you were also explaining like myself, I was trading hockey cards. You were in that world when you were a kid as well.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's not that I outgrew it or anything. I just moved on to other things and didn't pay attention to the space for a long time. But like every once in a while, just go buy a pack just for fun, because the market got crazy. There's so many different, like I was collecting in the 90s and they would just print so many different variations. It got to be overwhelming. So
the verification process itself and understanding like what is rare, what is collectible, and being able to differentiate that, because that was also a problem like trading hockey cards. There were the rare ones out there, but they were almost impossible to get. No different than when you're playing the damn McDonald's Monopoly game and trying to find Park Place.
Yeah, so then I got into Top Shot, which is a gateway for a lot of people to get into NFTs. And then I heard about an artist, Blake Jameson, who does original artwork for Topps. trading cards. And he's into the NFT space as well. And he was on a podcast, he said, and he had like this socials experiment where if you give him a shout out or just send him a DM and he'll send you his Blakecoin. So that was my initial reason to create a MetaMask wallet so that I could have him airdrop me a Blakecoin. And from about beginning of March, that's when I got in. It got me into the crypto space. It got me into the NFTs, just so I could sort of understand the space and start to be a participant. It felt like I was an early adopter still, even though it felt like I was late to the party at some ways. The FOMO starts to get up real high when people are all talking about these things. And I created a Twitter account back in 2010, and I had no reason to use it. I wasn't interested in anything specific. Like NBA Twitter can be a little bit weird and people just complaining all the time and
it's a bunch
talking
of it gets
shit.
trolly.
Yeah. So and then like news is just
so now you've been and we're gonna dig into that and understanding specifically what you were doing in NFTs. But I think, like as we discussed before, what's going to be important for the people listening is we're going to actually explain what are NFTs. We've done I did like 6 hours of research. Massive. No, not really, but enough to at least be prepared for this podcast and ask the right questions. And we're going to go through these platforms on OpenSea. Now, before we go back into what you've invested in, why you've invested in them, and what you're looking at, we'll jump it over to Mix and just give us a quick introduction of yourself. A little bit about your background, because as we discussed, you're in the design side, and how you got into NFTs.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mix, and I am 23 years old. And right now, I am doing 2 NFT projects. The first one called Timixabie NFT, which is the character of the little girl, and it gets a volume trade of like 1 million baht within like first month. And the second one is Pigaboo NFT, which is like I just started last month, and it's a character of like cute little pig. Yeah, it gets like 2 million baht within like first 3 days. And also like the reason why I stepped into NFT space is like back to around April, and that was a COVID-19 pandemic, right? And I had to stay at home because the cooking school I was studying was closed, and there was no like exact date of when it will reopen. And my brother-in-law just asked me like, why don't I try joining the NFT, because some pictures are sold for like 100,000 baht or like even more than million baht. Yeah, so I don't get it much like what is NFT and why people will buy it, but as like before NFT, I used to like have my art fan page, and also like got 2 of my comic book published when I was 16 and 19. So I think that it's a good chance to like follow my dream again, because once stepping into the university, I don't have much chance to like draw again or like something like that.
Did you go to university for design?
No,
after
something that
this is kind of a hobby at the time.
Yeah. So like I think that it's a good chance for me to like draw again. Yeah. That's why I started doing NFT with my brother-in-law since then.
So did you have any formal, like did you have training in the design side, or was this kind of something you just enjoyed as a kid?
Yeah, I enjoy it since like I was very young. Yeah, I like drawing so much.
You said you have a following. Where is that following? How could people go back and find that comic book that you've done, or that following of the design you were doing?
Yeah, actually, the comic book that I draw still like people can buy it in the like the bookshop or something.
And what type of comic was it, or what is the genre?
It's like the comic book about something fun about myself. Actually, yeah.
Okay, we'll put some stuff in the links. We'll find that and we'll post it as well, and people can check that out. So when your brother-in-law contacted you, was it more about because it was the pandemic, there was not a lot to do, or was it because he knew you had the passion for design that could connect to NFTs?
Yes, I think that it seems like very fun to like do something that is more than art, because my brother-in-law said that in NFT space you can do like the big project. Like for me, I would responsible for the art work, right?
Yeah.
And then my brother-in-law will responsible for the AI generating stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and we're trying to keep it, we're going to build the fundamentals in this podcast and take you guys through step by step, because if we jump too far ahead in understanding NFTs and AI and how that all comes together and creating rare NFTs as well, we're going to get way over people's head. So I talked to some friends yesterday, and a lot of people are interested to hear this, and we're going to go step by step on that. So before we go too much into what you're doing on your NFTs, we're going to come back to that later. We're going to first jump into understanding what is an NFT. We're going to pull up OpenSeas. There are many platforms, but we're going to start with OpenSeas, and we're going to walk through it on some picture by picture without being too much of a tutorial. So for the audio listeners out there, I'll try to keep this audio friendly as possible. But if you are listening, I highly recommend you jump over to YouTube, subscribe, and then watch it. Let's start with Mix. How do you define NFTs? What is an NFT?
Yeah, NFT is like non-fungible token, which is unique and non-interchangeable. And like it occurs on the blockchain system that, as we all know, that everything on the blockchain will be recorded, and like people cannot just like redo what you just did in the NFT. And also NFT is used to represent the digital asset, like such as the image, video, or audio, anything in the form of digital file. And one main characteristic of NFT is that like the buyer or the collector will get only the ownership, and the copyright will still belong to the creator.
So this can add a lot of value, and we will explain, like, NFTs are not just going to be used for digital tokens. They can be used for authenticating documentation, and we'll talk about that later. So Lex, on your side, the question more is less, obviously I think we all agree on our definition of NFTs, but in terms of your thoughts on NFTs and how would you define them?
Well, the exciting thing for me, as also not just a collector, but a creator, I dabble a little bit, but the resale thing. So you can attach a percentage. So, previously in art or in even literature and everything, you sell something and then that person has it and they sell it to a used bookshop or a used whatever, or resell their artwork on eBay or something. The original artist doesn't get a kickback from the percentage. So you could start at a low buy-in, and if you're able to accumulate, popularity, and people keep reselling it for higher and higher, you're getting a percentage, a kickback for every resale. That's what's really exciting about it, that the artist can continue to grow and get a kickback every time that it changes hands.
So if I'm the artist and I mint an NFT, we'll explain minting in a second. If I mint an NFT and it's my collection, as that NFT is flipped and bought and sold throughout the entire blockchain, I'm getting a commission on every time it changes hands?
Yeah. You can set the percentage to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25%.
Because I've initially minted it, so I'm the owner.
Yeah.
And is that what something you're doing
like
as well?
Like royalty fee.
Yeah, the royalty fees. Yeah.
Interesting.
I also set like for my collection for 10%, and every time like there was a second sale or third sale, the creator like me will get the percentage.
Is it always 10%, or is it a tiered system that breaks down as it changes more hands?
It's up to the author.
Yeah. Did you make a tier system, or how did you do it?
Like if the bigger project, they will set the royalty fee like for less than 10%, maybe like 2 or 3%.
Yeah, this is what I saw.
Yeah.
On some platforms, it can be 2 or 3%,
Yes.
but then as you get into what's called smart contracts, now you're getting upwards of 10%. That's one term. Let's come back to smart contracts because I think we're getting too far ahead and in understanding those percentages. So what's next is we're going to jump into OpenSeas. Okay, so Hans, can you cut over to OpenSeas? Sorry, we cut and we're coming back. That's why we're laughing. Okay, so now we're on the OpenSeas platform. Mix, are you selling on OpenSeas?
Yes.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. And maybe let's start with Lex. I want to create an OpenSeas account. Is this a very simple process in terms of, and let's not go into the mask wallet yet. We'll jump to that.
That's the only way you can interact with it, really.
Okay, so can you explain how this works and what we're doing?
Yeah, so your profile is basically built around your connecting your wallet, which you would want to fill up with as much Ethereum as possible. And then it stores also your NFTs within the wallet. So you have your Ethereum and your wallet and all of your NFTs in there. And when you click on the little profile picture, you have to connect your wallet in order to see your assets. So that's the biggest hurdle in getting into it, is downloading it, storing there's a 24 word access code.
It's like a key is generated.
Yeah. So that's a very important thing to keep safe and off of your computer. It's best to be stored in a.
So if I need to first get my and there's a ton of different wallets. So let's just focus on MetaMask to keep it simple. I go to the MetaMask website and I create my wallet there, and in that wallet I can start to put my cryptocurrency into this wallet.
Yeah. I think you can buy it directly there, but I usually just go buy it on Coinbase and zip it over, just send it over.
Okay.
But
okay, so now we're set up. We have our MetaMask wallet. Now we'll explain to the audience that on OpenSea, it is more of an Ethereum-based blockchain platform. Do you want to explain that, or is that okay? Well, let's let Lex explain that. Explain the difference between different NFT trading platforms and how that is in sync with different blockchains, so people can understand that it's not just OpenSea. There's other options.
Okay, within Ethereum, there are other. OpenSea just happens to be the biggest one. There's another one called Rarible. Do you know of other ones too? Foundation. Yeah, Foundation.
We saw Solana has one.
Okay, then you're talking about different blockchains. So Solana has their own NFT collection. Cardano has one, but another one that a lot of artists are on, both Ethereum and Tezos. So Tezos was built around HEN. It's a French word. I can't really say it, but that one shut down, like mysteriously was discontinued last week, and now everyone's on Object. So it's the same blockchain, but a different platform has popped up. So it's a nice one because the gas fees are minimal. It's just really simple, and it's more of a punk rock vibe to it. It's more DIY in a way. I guess it's all kind of DIY, but
so it's like these platforms, let's say, and we'll go back to OpenSea. Now, OpenSea, when you're on that platform and you have your MetaMask wallet set up, predominantly, you're only able to purchase NFTs in Ethereum, correct?
There's some things that happen there on Polygon, and there's like sand tokens. There's some other tokens that are being used, but predominantly it's all Ethereum based, which is crazy because like right now gas fees are really high. So in order to do a transaction, it costs you sometimes 3 or 4 times the amount of the actual NFT you want to buy.
Yeah. But now before we jump into the gas fees part, let's pull back up OpenSea and let's go find ourselves a crypto, an NFT to purchase. So let's pull up. Let's pull up. Why don't we just pull up your one of your NFTs? Pigaboo. Yes. Okay, so let's pull up Pigaboo. We can go to her account now. This would be her website where it can be minted. Okay, so now we're on OpenSea. We're on Mix's Pigaboo account.
You should probably let her explain the difference between minting directly through the platform and having an alternate website for your minting,
and the advantages of
because projects look more legit if they have a website where you mint and then it goes to your wallet and then you can see it in your OpenSea account or wherever you want to view it.
If you don't mind, you can explain it, because I wouldn't even know to ask that question, to be honest.
Yeah. For the first project that I did, right, Timixabie NFT, people can just buy directly on OpenSea, because I will manually mint every item one by one, and for Pigaboo NFT, I just hire the programmer to responsible for the smart contract part, and he will just created the website of Pigaboo that people can just mint by themselves. Yeah, I don't have to mint one by one on OpenSea, and after they minted on the website, the item will show up on the OpenSea.
So they're minting it on Pigaboo, on the Pigaboo website itself.
So are they randomly generated at the moment of minting?
It will be random for the item they will receive, and in a pre-sale period, it will be non-reveal. Yeah, no one will know what item they get, and after the pre-sale period, everyone will see what they get. Yeah.
And do they all have fixed price, or as you're minting randomly, you may get a rare one compared to a non-rare
Yes.
one? And that's kind of just rolling the dice, we say.
Yes.
It's just luck.
Yes, it's fixed price at like 0.05.
Oh,
ETH.
sorry, all of them are fixed price.
Yes.
Okay, so
But like some of them might get a rare one.
so it's no different than buying let's say a Pokemon card pack and opening it up
The
And
refractor or
and
something.
and getting a rare one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try not to go down too many rabbit holes, but I think this is a good one that can connect to that. What defines rarity in an NFT?
Yes, when you like mint your work, right? You can just like put all the detail, like the hat is a red hat or blue hat or something like that, and then you can check the rarity on the OpenSea. Yeah.
And do you establish those parameters as the developer when you create your collection? Meaning, 3 colors of hair: green, blue, and red. You have an 80% chance to get a red,
Yes.
a 15 to get a green, and a 5 to get a blue. And those parameters are established before you begin your collection.
Yes. It's a part that the programmer will be responsible for that.
And that's on the AI programmer side, in which you essentially need to be a coder. I won't get too technical. Do you know what language they're coding in? Anyone? Okay, so that's the super technical side. That's probably not really important to many people. But how does the minting process of the programmer integrate into the Pigaboo website? Meaning, you have Pigaboo, you have your website. I can mint your collection there randomly, and again, it's the luck of the draw. The back end, that means the programmer has to create this code in AI that integrates into your website. Do you understand how that works?
I don't know much
Yeah,
about this,
okay.
but they have to connect between like the.
It must be an API or
yes,
something.
Yes, yes.
Is it an API
Metadata.
connected to OpenSea?
It's just on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay, so they're using the API from Ethereum blockchain connected by AI to the NFT on the website that you've created. Now, is your website, is it a .io?
.club.
.club.
Yes.
Now, is that necessary, or can you be .com?
It can be anything.
It can be
.com,
anything.
.club, or .io.
Okay. See, I'm kind of a tech geek, so I'm going to try to avoid my inner geekiness coming out and just kind of dumb it down a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go back to OpenSea. Let's open that, and let's open up your collection. And we're going to kind of, this is up on the screen now. Okay, I'll pull that up on the screen, and I will, are you able to use a pointer, Hans, as I go? Like, does that appear? Okay, we're going to go now. I think maybe you need to take a step back before I even get to Pigaboo. So let's go to OpenSea's, the main page. Go up to the search, and let's type in Pigaboo. So if you're looking to find it, this is how you would do it. We're going to type in Pigaboo.
Have you ever had anyone copying your?
There it
A
is.
lot. I have
So we got,
Oh, really?
yeah, that
around 5 accounts.
Oh, really? So 5 people have tried to like copy her stuff and pass it.
Which
This
is-
one is a fake one.
this is
Yeah,
a fake
see,
one. Oh, we found a
when
fake
I was
one.
looking for them before, I found some that looked fake. So I was like, wow.
But how do you know it's a fake one? Oh, they added an extra O on the
Yeah.
Pigaboo. So how do you
Mine
spell
is
it exactly?
Pigaboo NFT.
Pigaboo
space
NFT.
NFT.
And this is no different than what people do on Instagram with fake Instagram accounts, right? It's the same
Twitter,
idea.
everything.
Okay, so this is your Pigaboo account. Now let's walk through step by step. So on the left, can you just explain each
Attribute.
attribute that we're looking at? Items, owners, floor price, volume traded.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Like item is the number of the item on the collection, but actually this one is different with my previous one because even though like all of my collection have like 3,000, right, but the number appear here is the number of people minting. Yes.
So there's still another like 2,700 available to mint.
Yeah.
So that her entire volume of actual items is going to be capped at 3,333, right?
Yes, but the first one is like I minted manually by myself, so all of the item will appear on the OpenSea.
Can we see that data on the page, knowing how many you've minted in total? It's only showing what has been minted, correct?
Yeah, that's it right there, 309.
Yes.
If you go to her website, you'll see that it's an addition of
Okay, so
3,000.
let's go to the website so we can connect that.
Go down a bit.
Scroll down.
But like the first project that I did is like there is-
Okay, right there. So you on the Pigaboo, you AI generated
Yes.
3,333.
Yes.
So we know that by connecting from OpenSea's back to your website, how many of that collection has been produced and what you've technically sold, which is about 10% of your collection.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But for the first project, it's like I minted all of them on OpenSea. So all that are minted will be the like shown in the item section.
Manually minted.
But it doesn't mean that I sold all of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all the collection is there. Now, if we go back to OpenSea's and we'll go to your Pigaboo account on OpenSea's, is the entire collection there?
No, you can't see it until
Okay,
people
so-
mint it.
Okay.
So it's up to the consumer to mint them. Where she's saying before she minted the entire collection and put it available.
So I get it. So what someone has to do is they have to go to Pigaboo. They go to your website.
Yes.
They
And
mint.
mint.
They mint the Pigaboo there, and as that's connected to their wallet in OpenSea's on the Ethereum blockchain, it will automatically appear
Yeah.
on OpenSea.
Like that.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's how it works.
Fuck, I'm smart.
You can hide it too, though. You can hide items as well.
You can,
But that's probably still part of the total count. Never mind.
Don't make me. You're gonna kill. Everyone's gonna put a bullet. No.
Okay.
All right,
Edit
so
that out.
we'll get there. No, we'll leave that rolling. Okay, so let's go. So we're gonna go back. Let's go back to OpenSea's. Hans is probably loving us right now. He's clicking on everything, going, "What the fuck?"
Hardest
Where are we
had to
going?
work for this.
Yeah. So we're at OpenSea's. We're on your account now. I understand the 309. That's how many have been minted. Of the 309, 162. So obviously that means
That's how many people. So
a couple people bought two.
Yeah, they own a few of
Yeah.
them.
Now, what does floor price mean?
Floor price is a like lowest price that people set for the for their Pigaboo.
To sell their Pigaboo.
Yes.
And 0.009. That would be like 0.009 of Ethereum at 4,000 or something.
$40,
$40?
$20,
Something like that.
around there.
Okay.
But you're going to pay $100 in gas fee if you want to buy one right now. So you're $40 or whatever, $30 plus $100.
We'll go down and then we'll explain the gas fee because that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be almost a topic on its own. So volume traded, what does that mean?
Volume trade for this project is just the second sale.
Oh, so it doesn't account for the initial price. Oh, okay.
It's only the second sale, but for my first project, it will count everything that I sold.
Yeah, this is only for this account, the Pigaboo account.
Yes.
So in terms of your other account, and that's also on OpenSea's.
You mean Timixabie
Yes.
NFT? Yes, it's on OpenSea, and it will like volume trade will count like from the first sale and second sale, third sale. But this one, it not show the first sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So as this can include your commissions as well, everything in terms of how this is being traded around the blockchain.
Just secondary market.
Just
So
secondary
just
market.
because she's doing the minting process through her own website.
Got it. Oh, and it explains that there, 333. I should have saw that.
Oh, yeah, there
we
it is
didn't
too.
have to jump around. Okay, let's scroll down and we'll go through.
So
okay.
do you see any rare attributes here? So if you click on one in particular
Okay.
and then scroll down, you'll see attributes down a bit more, or properties. Sorry, properties. Sometimes they're called different things.
Yeah.
So you see that you have a rarity 3% there, or 2% for the top. So it's got some rare things going on there between the costume and the top.
So this will give you an idea of how rare this
Yes.
NFT is.
And
So-
actually, that will be the rare one that we draw one by one. 20 pick a rare. It's a rare Pigaboo. Yeah.
Okay. And again, you don't even have control over that because it's automated by AI. So
Yes.
unless someone goes on your website and mints all of them, then they would get them.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as we go, let's go from the top. Let's explain that. So the price is 0.009 Ethereum. And that's where I got confused the other day. People need to understand that is the Ethereum logo. I thought it was an up or down. It kind of looked like, when you're trading stocks, an up or down. Mark, that is trading in Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain. And they show the price. Now, that's in US dollar.
Yeah.
So it's $42.95. What's the difference between buy now and make an offer? Are people able to buy cheaper than the market value?
You can always make an offer on anything. The owner would have to list it for buy now.
And when making an offer, you don't have to pay the gas fee. The one who accept the offer will be the one who pay the gas fee. That's why people like.
Have these already been minted in which you've already paid the gas fee, or are they gasless?
It's like when people mint on the website, right? They have to pay for the gas fee.
Got it. Yeah, so it brings it into the blockchain.
So when she did the original one, she had to pay gas fees for every single one she minted on OpenSea, correct?
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
The owner don't have to pay for the gas fee.
Okay.
Just the buyer.
On the first one, Tim?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let's explain gas fees. What are gas fees? How do they work? And how do you define them?
Gas fee is actually like the transaction fee that we have to like spend for like doing any transaction on OpenSea. Yeah.
And it's basically that fee that allows it to go from your platform in which I've minted it to the blockchain where now it can be tradable.
It's like when you started to mint your first NFT, right? You have to pay the gas fee for the OpenSea. And after that, you can like mint, like the creator can mint how many NFT they want, but the one who pay gas fee on OpenSea will be the customer.
Are they paying an additional gas fee after it's been minted for them to, let's say, bring it over to their wallet?
You mean like
the customer?
The customer.
Yeah.
They will have to pay the gas fee, which will like go up and down every hour.
Okay, so I was doing some research on that, and Lex, we were talking about that. When you're purchasing an NFT, you also need to bid on the gas fee of what you want to pay, and you have your lows, your mediums, and your highs. Can you explain that?
It just speeds up the transaction time. Usually around medium, it happens within a minute or so. But if it's a really competitive, minting process or drop, then you probably want to speed up your gas processing, pay a little bit extra to make sure you get it.
Yeah, I was watching there, and there's some great videos on YouTube. I think if you just type in like what are gas fees, gas versus gasless, I think you're going to get a better 10-minute tutorial than us explaining it. But from my understanding, the analogy, it's like riding the bus and tipping the bus driver to go faster.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and just meaning, okay, the gas fee high max recommend is $10, the low's $5. I want to get this as fast as I can onto my wallet in the blockchain. I'm going to pay the 10. And therefore you kind of pass the queue, meaning there's 3 queues, or I guess you could compare it to priority lines.
Sure.
I'm going to, at the airport, I pay the extra money because I want to board that plane much quicker than, the economy boarding line. So, but yeah, go read about the gas fees so you understand that and understand how to bid on gas fees, especially if you are trying to get an NFT quicker. Now, one of the things that we were discussing is what affects the gas fees, because the gas fees, the value changes day to day, and you can check that up on
minute.
exactly. You can check this. There's a couple websites, or there's one I was checking for Ethereum. I think it's called Ethereum Scan. And you're able to, in real time, check the price of the gas fee ranges. Back to the question. What affects the gas fees? Why is it constantly changing? Why is it not fixed?
What affect the gas fee is like the traffic on the blockchain. If at that time like people do that like transaction a lot, it will make the gas fee rise higher.
Yeah, so meaning that if we're on Ethereum and there's a big push of Ethereum, whether going short or long, let's say going long, and a lot of people are jumping into that blockchain to purchase Ethereum, there's going to be a lot of traffic, therefore gas fees go up. So is this very important when deciding to buy an NFT? Because essentially if your NFT costs $42 and at that time there's a lot of transactions or activity on the Ethereum blockchain and the gas fees cost me $100, well, you should probably wait.
Yeah, I've definitely passed on a lot of things that I wanted to buy because gas fees were high and missed out on some things. But the thing another factor of gas fees is that it makes it deflationary. So as you burn gas, it's actually removing Ethereum from the total pool of Ethereum available. So it's actually making it more valuable as you use it more and more because there's less of it.
Of the Ethereum.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why these cryptocurrencies, I didn't realize, like Ethereum, Solana, especially in the NFT world, they're just going to become stronger and stronger because of NFTs.
Yeah, you think so for sure. I mean,
in theory.
Yeah. I mean, it's just more utility, more, I don't say utility, but just more people being drawn to the space and using it. I guess if you want to be in on it, you want to own one, make it your profile picture or whatever reason, or just a collector, like an artist, you get into an artist and you want to have a piece of it, then yeah, it's just more exposure, more people adopting into the system and collecting art this way instead of your traditional way, which is still a very viable market as well. But it's just a nice way to, like, because I live abroad, I can't accumulate all the art that I want to put on all my walls and transfer it from my house in China to my place in America or my new home here in Thailand. Like I can just throw up my NFTs. I had a party over 4th of July, and I just ran all my collected NFTs on the TV and get to talk about things I've collected and share some of the artwork that I've
and the stories
enjoying.
behind them as well.
The people, the creators behind it and stuff.
Yeah, and how that works. And then that's the thing. I think a lot of people with NFTs are getting lost. And well, it's just digital art, and I could make that using Photoshop. So where's the value? Can you explain on your side, where is the value in NFTs?
Value of NFT, right? It's like people will buy the NFT from the project that seems to have the good future, and sometimes the project will have the roadmap, right? And that they will promise that when they reach phase 2 or something, they will give the benefit back to the owner of the NFT. That's why the value of the NFT getting higher. For some people who get rare one, they will have more benefit than others, something like that. And that's why people try to buy NFT from second sale. Yeah.
Okay, so now you're adding another variable into the NFT world beyond the monetary aspect of it, meaning the involvement maybe in voting power within the community.
Oh yeah, there's definitely DAOs and things like that get set up where the more you have, the more they do kick. The community becomes a really big aspect between Discord and Twitter. That's where the main
okay. So let's jump into that topic in NFTs and the community side, Discord. But you also mentioned a term there called DAO. Do you know what that stands for? It's something autonomous. I read it last night, but essentially, isn't it? It's rules or it's essentially a system for the community in which they get different added value for being part of that community, or maybe one of you can explain that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's so there's people who they take care of the floor. They sweep the floor, so they go around and make sure that the floor doesn't get too low, that the value of the entire project stays up. There's kickback, so if you own a certain amount, then you get free minting on the next thing that they drop, or you get airdropped a random surprise or special access to the latest drop of something else, or I don't know. It's all different. But the community aspect becomes really important because you're feeling like you're part of something. Then, it's also like Gary Vee talks about it. It's a lot easier to show these digital assets than it is to show the collectibles that you have in your house. So it's just another way to sort of, I don't know, show off a bit. I guess.
Yeah. No, I understand that part. And let's say on your community side,
Yes.
Are you engaging with your community on Discord? How does that work? Is it predominantly only Thai, I'm assuming?
No, it's all of them are non-Thai. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that in NFT space, what people also value apart from the artwork and also the roadmap is community. It's after you got your collector from the Twitter, right? And you will have the Discord that you created, and then people will join your Discord. All of those who are in our Discord is the one who our project. Yeah, and in the Discord we can post the announcement about our project, and also the collector who like your artwork will be able to talk with the creator or other who like this project as well. Yeah.
How does that community management, let's say it's essentially a marketing, now more of a sales funnel, bringing people into your community? Because, well, in sales, you're generating revenue, but in the community, you're generating conversation or, you know, building that community. Where does that start? How does that work? Do you build beginning from Twitter? Do you start on Instagram creating your following? Do you start on Facebook? How are you funneling them into Discord?
I started from Twitter and I post a Discord link like for people to join. And like for example, my first project, right? I created a Discord and then one collector who like my artwork follow my Twitter and then she just like joined the Discord and she talked to me what the future of my project will be like. And I also like tell them about the roadmap that I have. And she just so interested about my project. That's why she go to shout out for me and a lot people like join and talk about my project there.
Yeah, and they're building confidence in your buyers as well instead of, you know, like for example, if I make a website called like Fruiting Body NFTs and I mint NFTs there, but if I don't show any roadmap, engagement, tiered system, how I interact with the community, and I'm purely just doing it for profit, people might not want to be involved in that community. Are people getting involved beyond the monetary value, but because they can be a part of a community?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. People have created media companies based on being a collector and just being active in the space. It's really interesting because if you do own one of these assets, you have almost a sense of responsibility to shill, to share it and to push it out. And there's like self-promotion coming within that as soon as you get collectors, because it's the collector's best interest to get other people to collect, obviously, right? Which will increase the value and desirability of any of these particular assets. Mm-hmm. So it's fascinating to see like careers just pop up out of nowhere where people would just become collectors, and based on writing a blog or just tweeting a bunch, you get a bunch of followers. And I've watched like a whole media company come up, like Packrip Media. He's got his own podcast, his own blogging network, and you know they become really big in the space. And like I said before, Top Shot,
and they're NFT
enthusiasts.
They're not like developers.
Well, actually, then they do come up with their own NFT sets too. A lot of them will. Yeah, I mean, it's almost inevitable that they would all at one point come up with their own.
It's a different strategy. Build your community first, then try to push a product.
Well, there's even like, so to become an exclusive group, buy my token, and then it's a community of like top collectors where they're all sharing their latest information, and that becomes a big part of it as well.
And what about your roadmap? Is this accessible on the Pigaboo website? Like, is there a section on the website that shows the roadmap?
Yes.
Okay, let's pull that up. And so then we come to your website, pigaboo.club. Let's focus on the roadmap, and then I want to check out drop rate because I don't know what that means. We're on the roadmap.
Giveaways get to be a big part of it too, to get people in and excited.
So we'll quickly, why don't, now we're on screen now showing this. Let's just do a very quick scan through it. Scan so the audience can see. And they can come back and revisit this. We got your phase 2, build strong community. Okay, more soon. So let's go back up to the top. You can leave this on the screen for us, and let's cut back to or go down. Go back to the roadmap because we'll talk about it, and let's cut back to Mix on the camera, and we'll scroll through it, and then you'll walk us through it. Okay. So we're back. Okay. So why don't you walk us through? Okay, we can't see it, but she probably knows it by heart. Why don't you walk us through your roadmap and how you put it together and the thought process behind that?
It's like I just discussed with my brother-in-law about like what benefits should we like give it back to the community, and like it seems that we would like to separate into like 3 parts: the pre-sale part, the public sale part, and also like after all of them sold out. And then my brother-in-law just tried to study like so many projects, and he said like one thing that he is interested in doing as well is to like have a cryptocurrency coin, like on coin.
You would make.
Yes.
Oh yes, you were saying you would make your own coin, an oink coin.
Yes.
What is the value or the benefit of having your own crypto coin?
It's like if they hold NFT for longer or like many of them, they will have like they will get a coin every day, and then it will be like the benefit for them. For example, when I have the next coming like project, they will be able to like breed it like for free or something like that. Or maybe if it goes even further, they might have like income for by holding the coin.
So then your brother-in-law would do the coding behind that to kind of essentially make your own crypto coin on its own blockchain. Is that how that would work?
But we will like let the programmer be responsible for that part.
Yes. Okay. Have you seen something like this
Yeah,
as well?
the creating tokens where if you do acquire a certain amount of tokens, you can trade them in for maybe a special edition of an NFT or something like that as well. It's whatever the artist or the project wants to set for the functionality of these sort of tokens or coins, then that's just kind of their own vision. So it can vary slightly from project to project for sure, but that's out there a lot.
And right now, in terms of phase, where are you? You're pretty phase 2, because you've done the pre-launch is gone, and now you're in the phase of trying to sell all the NFTs, all 3,333. Once those are gone, then you're going to move to your final stage, which is more managing the community itself. What will happen in phase 3 for that community? Let's say is there a tiered system for your top holders, the benefits that they could receive?
Yes. Like for those who get like more Pigaboo, will might also have like more benefit than like others, and also there will be like the event that will make the community even stronger, like the Pigaboo gathering event or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like in reality, we want to connect NFT to reality as well.
Okay, I hope this doesn't jump too far ahead. Now, everyone is aware with Mark Zuckerberg coming out and talking about the metaverse. And so I do want to discuss that a little bit. There are current metaverses out there that are going to take off, such as Sand and Mana, which is Decentral World. We'll go into that in a second. Could you not create Pigaboo World, a metaverse on its own of your community that's in there, and which they could buy land as NFTs in your world?
I might not go further as a land of a Pigaboo or something like that. But actually, Metaverse is also one of my like roadmap plan as well. But it's like it might be the game or something that people can play, and those who buy NFT and that character they will be able to use that character in the Metaverse. Yes.
Yeah, because my point being is that if you grew a community large enough, let's just say of 10,000 people. Now, obviously, 1 million, absolutely, you can build a metaverse. People will buy land. But when your community is that strong, I mean, a metaverse makes sense because they can all come together and now they're interacting organically in that world, which is no different than maybe interacting together on Discord. However, the Discord side to me would be the analogy of being stuck on a forearm, and the metaverse is making this into 3D animation, essentially.
Yeah, it's like VR, AR. Just walk around in there. And
that's what I mean. And as you get into things like Oculus and that technology connecting to metaverses, which probably won't happen for another 5 or 6 years, you could have your top 10 favorite NFTs and metaverses, and these are essentially, let's call them different forums.
Sure.
Right? But now they're visual. So me and Lex, we follow NBA, and now we're in the NBA metaverse, and we're running around and we're playing games in there, and we all own land. And
there's going to be concerts in the metaverse. They've already like established lands. There's whole projects dedicated to this, like Gods of Rock and things like that they have stages all set up, ready to have big virtual events.
And they did this initially, and we'll try not to go too deep onto that, but they did this initially, I think, as a test run on Fortnite. I'm not a Fortnite player, but they did do it with Fortnite in the sense where I think it was Marshmello held a concert and all the Fortnite people, Travis Scott as well too, which is, who knows?
We don't have to get
Travis Scott might be the devil, but let's find out later. There's too much weird shit with Travis Scott. How does he have a McDonald's burger? All these people die. He's demonic. There's shit going down there. Conspiracy theory. Anyways,
we're getting into
yeah. Let's get away from that. So we'll come back to the metaverse. But yeah, the Fortnite did do it with Marshmallow, and all these Fortnite people came together. That essentially was the metaverse. That an example of that. On your metaverse of Pigaboo world, how far down the road would that be? Would it have to be at like way past phase 3 once all your NFTs have been sold?
I think it's around like 80% when it's sold.
You can start to decide how to build that. Okay, so people are probably a bit confused on Metaverse and buying land. So let's open up OpenSeas and let's pull up Sand and let's explain the concept of buying property in the Metaverse as an NFT. And I did some research on this last night, and it absolutely blew my mind. It makes a lot of sense. It's digital, so it
looks just like plots of land.
It looks like plots of land. So if you go to search Hans on OpenSeas, and you literally just type in sand, SAND. So these are the two more. There are the Sandbox. Yeah. So Sand is we would call it like the crypto code, or let's say the code that you would call it. No different than if you're buying a stock. You have your codes that are related to that. So the Sandbox is actually the name of it. As we scroll down, we're on the screen. Okay. As we scroll down, you can see there are different plots of lands. Essentially, you're buying. Now that plot of land on the left here, it gives you the XY coordinates, -167, minus
that little orange square in the middle.
It's that little orange square. So now you're starting to buy property in the land, but let's explain the price. So give that a click, just so people can understand how expensive it is. Yeah, that plot of land is $6,600.
Yeah, you can't get one for less than 1 ETH, I don't think, right now.
Yeah. Is this not the future of NFT? For me personally, I'd be buying all that land. Like this would be the now obviously in terms of location, but finding out like where are influencers located, because that's where they're going to hang out and that's where their community is going to go to. So I would want to have land near bigger, more influential plots of land.
Most major retailers have already bought up their plots. So yeah, there's a whole like Walking Dead section, which has a lot of great gaming potential. I honestly not that read up on it, but it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I think to understand this better, go on YouTube, watch a video. You're going to want to type in, what is the Sandbox?
The actual Sandbox website has a lot of stuff on it too.
Yeah, go to that Sandbox website, but understand the different metaverses of Decentraland and the Sandbox, which are pretty much the two metaverses competing head to head. Okay, so we went down that rabbit hole a little bit. Let's go back to let's pull back up Pigaboo and let's actually walk through the process of purchasing an NFT. So because I was on this last night, and just the OpenSea's platform itself, because of all the things going on, it was a bit confusing and overwhelming.
You're not going to get very far without a wallet. So
yeah, well, but at least it can get us to that point before purchasing.
Okay.
I hope so. Let's find out. Lex is like, no, you guys are going to get screwed. Okay, so we're on Pigaboo. And if we click on buy now, essentially, it's going to tell us
connect your wallet.
Yeah, that's as far as we got. Yeah, so. Connect your wallet. There was something else I saw where it was taking me to like an Etherscan different portal, essentially.
That's just so you can see probably the actual blockchain transactions of when it was minted, who's owned it, and the history of it all.
Okay, so that's what that part was a bit confusing for me. So essentially, as we buy now, and we went through the wallet, is it just that simple?
I'm just a creator. I don't know how to buy.
Yeah, I mean, if you have ETH in your wallet, you say buy now, and then it says, well, if it's not a high volume trade, it'll say, are you sure you trust this? And like, yeah, okay, click the box, whatever. And then it'll pull it up and show you the price with gas, and then you hit accept, and then wait a few seconds, and then it's in your wallet.
Okay, now I was also reading that you can also go gasless. as well when you're purchasing, or you have to be paying for the gas for it to transfer to the blockchain to your wallet, no matter what?
I think there's a ways around it with Polygon, but I'm not really sure on the technical side on how that works.
So again, that's something else, because there's just too much information for us to discuss today in terms of the technical side, that a lot of this stuff, if it's over your head, even for us, it is like probably YouTube it and figure it out.
And everyone's talking about layer 2 solutions that are supposed to be coming soon to help reduce the gas fees to speed up.
This is ETH 2.0, Ethereum 2.0,
Yeah.
which will, what I read, it's supposed to speed it up to like 20,000 transactions a second. Are you familiar with this? Yeah, this is where it gets it gets quite creative.
So do you want to take a spin around at some of the other artists real quick?
So the next thing let's do, let's go back to back to the web, and Lex is just gonna walk us through some of the artists that he's watching, what they're doing, and how he found them as well.
Yeah, this is actually one she recommended to us, so let's take a look at that one, and she can tell us a little bit about it. It's really cool. It's got a real dynamic sort of animated style to it as well. So scroll down and we can look at a few of them. Yeah. So
interesting.
Mix, maybe you can tell us what you like about these.
Yes, actually, the artist of Gangster All-Star NFT is like my favorite idol when I was young. Yeah, and when he stepped into like NFT space, he create like amazing concept of like gangster, and his art is very cool. And also when I like try to know about like his roadmap, is like he always try to find way to give back the benefit to the like holder, and also he create a like Gangster All-Star product as well. And it's like it's very cool stuff, and I think that I want one of them.
Yeah. Look, you're looking at like 8 ETH for some of them there, so they're pretty
they're not, you're talking almost like over $2,000, $3,000, right?
But that's the thing, is anyone could set a list price. Doesn't mean someone's going to pay for it, because you look at the previous sale and they're all like 0.3, but still they're pretty sick. So
this one is like 1 ETH.
Yeah, someone bought it for an ETH, but now someone's trying to sell it for 99. So probably good luck on that one, unless you become like CryptoPunk or.
Now these ones, they're not still JPEGs. They're like GIFs.
That would be a GIF.
They're a GIF. Yeah.
I used to collab with him as well when I first do my first project.
Did he help you, give you some direction, act as a mentor?
It's like I draw the one in my own style, but I use his character as a part of my work, and he also did the same.
Let's look at the property.
And who is this guy? His name's Boss Pig?
You mean?
Or go to the created by the. Okay,
yes,
so
his name is the
when you scroll back up to the top, sorry, can you scroll up? There it says owned by. So this is the guy that has purchased it from the creator.
Correct.
And again, that's all open source. It's all transparent on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So
you can scroll down and see all the different owners as well.
Where can we click on that?
Down below, so you can see all the hands. Let's keep going down.
Down. This is where it's traded. All these people, and
it's traded.
So you can see how where it started. It has a 0.05. We can see the profits, essentially, right?
So it's minted and then first listed for 0.009.
Yeah. And
then transferred and just kind of went up in value. Oh, wow. So he listed it at 0.5 and then he took it off and listed it again for a more reasonable price, I guess. And then someone bought it at 0.05 and now someone's making an offer for it right now. So the person who currently owns it, the offer expired. Never mind.
Okay. So. This guy, Ronan the Collector. Yeah. Okay. So now as we scroll back up here, the properties here, we can go back down this again. We can go back and explain understanding rarity. So it's saying 2% have this trait, Robert. So would that mean that this is rare or
quite rare?
That'd be pretty rare.
It's quite rare. But also when you're creating and minting these NFTs, like how many variables do you allow or parameters do you allow in your NFT? Meaning like, is he wearing a hat, the color of his eyes, the color of the clothes, the background? Wouldn't it be, do you not go over like 4 or 5 parameters, or do you keep it simplified? 5 max.
Every project's a little different, but that's usually
but it's
around.
Different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If you click on robber, you can see all of the different robbers that exist too. So that's the only one apparently.
Okay. So there's only one like that. Therefore that's why it's rare. And okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
So you want to go to the next one?
I just wanted to quickly talk about this guy as well. Gangster All-Star. Now that is his handle, the creator's handle name, or is that the collection's name?
collection's name.
And what is the creator's name?
The Duang.
Pardon?
The Duang.
The Dwan. Okay. And what is your relationship with him? I know you explained that you followed him as an artist when you were a kid. Yeah. Where is he from? What does he do? How did you find him initially, way before NFTs?
He's actually the comic artist as well. He's very popular in Thailand, like for a long time.
He's Thai.
Yes, he's Thai.
Okay.
And then in Thailand, there will be like NFT community on Facebook that like gather the Thai people who are interested in NFT. So that's where I connected with him. Yes, and we just talk and then we have the collab work together.
So essentially, anyone can do NFTs.
Yes.
I can do NFTs.
Yes.
Let's say tomorrow.
Let's do it.
That's a good segue to Simple Cat, because a lot of people can look at that and be like, well, I can do that. So if you
let's go. We'll go to Simple Cat. My point there was that I was saying is that probably the people that will succeed in NFTs are the ones that have clout or influence, meaning they have a big following on Twitter pre-NFT era. They have a big following on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, whatever social media platform, because for them, it's much easier to push that NFT product because they already have an established community. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, sure. The more followers and subscribers you have, I mean, the people who are great at selling themselves are the ones who are going to be more successful. Like, how do you approach that? Do you make yourself tweet so many times a day, or like, how does that work for you?
I also try to like make some content to post on Twitter and also Instagram or something like that. Yeah, to like get more people to see my work. Yeah.
And you started initially on Twitter, but you also said that you had a following because of your comic book. Where was that following initially? Was there a platform like you're saying you're 23, so 7 years ago maybe?
Actually, the one who collect my work is totally a different group with the fan club of my comic book. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, they are not the same.
You have your collectors of your work as well, your comic book work.
Actually, there are many people who like buy my comic book back then, but they're not the one who collect my NFT.
Correct.
I have to like find a new like market.
Would you be able to reconnect with that group and bring them over? Is that possible, or is it?
But they have to like own the cryptocurrency so that they can buy. But
yeah,
I think that most of them like
I see there's a bit
may not be in a market.
Yeah, that might be a bit difficult getting them to come over. Your community now that you built, did you build it from, were you at zero, like essentially like right when NFTs started and you grew, or did you have a following before NFTs?
No, actually, when I stepped into NFT, I didn't use this character since start. I have done so many projects before these two projects, and like most of them have no sale at all, or like only one or two of them are sold or something like that, and no more. And like one day I just choose to like use my character that I used to design in my comic book to make it into NFT. And also my brother-in-law also like study how to write the code of AI generating technique. And then he asked me to draw like the fixed body of the little girl, right? And then many hairstyle, many costume, many faces in separate layer. And then he will use the code to like generate into like 10,000 or 100,000 pictures that I don't have to draw by myself. And after that, it seems like the people in NFT spaces like this kind of work, and like they go shout out for me, and then many group of people who are in NFT space like follow my work. And I started the Twitter and Instagram and Discord from zero when I stepped into this.
Should we pull that up quick? Because I think we've talked about it a lot. Like this, it's different than Pigaboo, and then we'll jump back to.
I have just a question from a creator side. Do you do it all in Photoshop, and every attribute has a different layer? So
I use Procreate.
Okay. Oh, so
on the iPad.
But one file that has all the layers with the red hat, green hat, blue hat, mustache, whatever. Okay.
And that's on the manual side of the minting, because you were creating. How many did you create?
So then he'll export each layer as different files, and they'll.
And
cool.
run the code.
That's cool.
So let's jump over. How can we find this? Does it also have its own website? This one, the initial one that
the first
did?
one.
Yes.
The website. Yes, on my Twitter.
Did we pull that?
I didn't pull that one.
Okay.
I think we get the idea though, because we can see some of those attribute stuff in the I guess these ones are a little bit different because these ones aren't attribute based.
Okay.
Some of the ones we'll
Okay, that's fine. We'll put a link and we'll just so because it's similar to what we're discussing.
NFT.com.
And for this is the entire collection sold or no?
No, not yet.
How many did you mint?
I minted around like 1,499.
Okay, and of those, how many have sold?
Around 700.
So there's still 50% left,
Yes.
and is it? How is that going? You're seeing it still selling quite well. There's some traction there.
It's like I think that right now NFT market is quite like hard for the small project like that. So that's why I continue the project like the bigger one with smart contract, something like that.
Because the market is so flooded. There's a lot of competition, and
Yes.
Can you identify who your audience is, like age group, or I mean geographically? You said they're all over the place, but
the age group is quite like very. It's like those who are interested in my project is because they like the roadmap of Oncoin or something like that.
and then that brings them back to this.
That's why they buy my NFT.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Lex. Let's pull back up some. You said is it Copycat?
oh, Simple Cat.
Simple Cat.
It's another Thai artist that's done pretty well for themselves.
And are you familiar with them as well?
I think I saw his work before.
Okay, so we'll pull that up, and if you can kind of walk us through.
If you just scroll down, you'll see that it's not quite the same. It's not like attribute based. They're just all little sort of unique little guys. I guess they are kind of attribute based, but they can be somewhat varied a bit.
And let's just click on one, and the price is $136. If we scroll down, we can go check out the rarity at the properties. I'm getting pretty good at this now.
Yeah, so these are pretty simple. They're just Simple Cats. So I mean, they just go by what the character is, and got the little hand drawn number. So it's number 184 in the edition. So
now, as we move on, specifically for this guy, what is it that attracted you to them, or why did you want to discuss about them as well?
just that they're having success. They're collectible. They're very active on Twitter. You see people set them as their profile pictures and get excited about the drops. And some of them, when they're going well, he'll drop whatever 4 or 5 of them, and then they'll sell pretty quickly.
Oh wow. In terms of the auction and bidding process compared to buy now, is this something you offered?
Yes, I also did the auction as well for my first project.
Okay, how does that work?
Like, I will make the auction when it comes to like the hundreds of the item or like thousands. It will be rare.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I put on the auction, and I will set the price like the first price as the fixed price of the project, and then people who want it will make an offer so that it will be higher and higher. And like actually at first I set the price for that project is like 0.008, right? And the 100th Timixabie got sold at like 0.4. Yeah.
And that's you're auctioning it because it is rare.
Yes.
But if it's AI auto generated, you got it before. Or that part I don't understand.
Back then it's AI generated, but I post it one by one, right? So when it comes to like the number 100, I post the one that I draw like one by one.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
I understand. That makes sense. Okay.
The golden girl.
The golden girl.
Golden girl. All gold.
Laser eyes. People always like the one with laser eyes. Those always
Yeah,
are
something
super
like that.
collectible.
Why?
I don't know.
I also have that trait as well.
Yeah.
So in the NFT world, there's a certain trait that's being used across all NFTs that define it as rare,
Yeah.
which is laser eyes.
Laser eyes. Yeah.
Can we pull that up? I'd like to see what are some.
I mean, I guess you could look at Bored Ape or something.
I think because these guys are obviously trending now. What is it? Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Bored Ape Yacht Club, and also probably the most trendy one is the Crypto Punks.
Yeah, that's the OG, the first one. I'm pretty sure they have a laser eyes one there too. It's probably where it all came from.
And if we're trying to find them, so they've done volume traded 218 crypto 4,000 G. What is that?
Oh my God, so much money. Oh yeah, 3D glasses is a
Yes.
popular one.
I
Yeah.
also have 3D glasses.
So they're selling. So they're trying to sell these for 37.
Someone's already bid 37,000. It just hasn't been accepted.
Okay, just click on that. Just give that a click, just so we can show people this Bored Ape. 177,000 for this Bored Ape.
It's nuts.
Can I get like one for like $10 or?
I'll sell you one for $10.
You don't have one.
I can draw you one. They'll call it pacified monkey.
What about yourself, Lex? What, are you going to create your own collection?
I've dabbled on the Tezos just to play around and understand the space a little bit more. I'm just so busy with my full-time job and just soaking it up. I would like to put a collection up on Ethereum at some point, but yeah, the PHP, like the profile pics where you have the different attributes, those are the more popular ones, but there are a lot of other collections out there. Yeah, you just have to take a look and see what you're into. I collect, and because like I said, I like to collect things, and I only really buy things that I like. For the
You're
most
more
part.
of a collector than a creator, and you're more of a creator than a collector.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
There we go. Hit it on the head. Okay. One of the parts of this segment, we was there another? There's a couple like the Bangkok Bros.
Let's just go through those guys real
so
quick.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna move on to a Q&A soon, and Lex put together some questions and also some questions that you were asked during another one of your podcasts. However, it's in Thai, and we don't speak Thai, so it would not be easy. But Lex, let's go back and pull up some of the other creators that you're following. So now the game. Where do you want
Let's
to start?
look at Gamer Bros.
Gamer Bros? Are these
Game
the
Bros.
Bangkok Bros?
The artist is BKK Bros.
BKK Bros. So I reached out to them on Instagram as well. We were interested to bring them on the podcast as well and have more people of NFTs to be able to have that conversation. But if he sees this, he told me that he wouldn't be comfortable speaking English on.
Yeah, and you know what's awesome? She talked about this too. And anytime you want to reach out to any of these artists, they're all super generous with their time. They're all been really receptive. It's in general, the space is really a positive place, which can be kind of rare on Twitter and social media.
Safe
and stuff.
space.
And yeah, it's really nice because people are really trying to build each other up and build the whole space up. So it just becomes a unique experience in social media these days because it can be rather toxic at times in the way people interact with each other online. And I think the NFT space is giving birth to a lot more positivity.
Eventually there could be cross wars in metaverses, no? Like if for example, if Pigaboo World and Bangkok Bros World and I'm in Bangkok Bros World, but I run over to Pigaboo World and buy some land and I just start a war, is that not an option?
Sure, why not? Let's
we go.
just scroll through a couple of the Bangkok Bros and just see like what. So obviously
they've
it's all
done 48 Ethereum. Now, if my math is correct, you're talking like what, over almost 500,000? No, more than that.
48 times 4,000.
Yeah, my math is not going to be there today.
It's a lot of money. But there's only 112 items. As you can see, there's only 71 owners. And scroll down, and you see that they're all sort of based on video game characters and consoles and controllers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's so. Then this is also pixel art. So this is also one of the premier pixel artists in the world. I follow several different pixel artists who do consider Bangkok Bros one of the top dogs in the entire arena of pixel art. So
wow,
yeah, he's doing some cool stuff. He's very active, very friendly on Twitter and Discord. His Discord's quite robust. Lots of giveaways and auctions and raffles and stuff like that to get user participation.
Yeah, and he's selling them for about 4,000 at least, like one ETH per.
Yeah, well, you can look at the original cost. I was looking at the space when you could get one for 0.05, which is an idiot for not doing it. I kick myself sometimes.
What happened? Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, it's just, I'm a teacher for one. It's not rolling into ETH. I didn't get into.
Yeah.
I didn't start buying crypto when ETH was like $100 or anything.
But it's still early enough that I don't think the bus is gone yet. I think
No,
I think it's still early adapters.
We still, they consider us early adapters, even though the market gets more and more saturated with new projects, everyone wanting to get a piece of the pie. But you start to find these guys who really do have a strong footing. Whew.
23,000. There you go for that picture.
Let's just go down and look at the what the activity's been like about changing hands a little bit further down. Yeah, there's not a lot of attributes here because these are all sort of really unique. They're not switching.
Okay, so
not much has really changed here.
The activity, the highest was at the 0.5, and now they've kind of.
So you find projects like this where people kind of get diamond hands, right? Where they just get them and they hold them. They're not trading that much, unless somebody's making some crazy offers. But this person doesn't want to let go of it for anything less than 5 ETH right now because they find it really collectible and they want to keep it.
And they just set that price, and that's their decision.
That's their choice, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Because if you were to set that, you can essentially set that price at anything, and if someone just swoops in and buys it, it's gone. You still don't have. Do you have that decision to block it?
No. If you set buy now and someone buys it, it's gone.
So then, what if you set it as an auction?
You can set a limit. So the auction has to get up to a certain amount in order for them to get it. But if the auction time expires and they've passed that limit, then it's theirs.
And is that limit transparent?
Yeah. You should be able to see. It must cross this threshold before it can.
Understood.
Change hands. So
interesting.
These guys are super cool though. We can go. So then there's other two really affordable projects of new up and comers. The next one, I actually do own a couple of these.
BitMXC.
Super nice kid, very friendly to talk to on Twitter.
He's Thai
He's Thai as well. Yeah.
Are you familiar with these guys as well?
I shared them with her when we were talking through Twitter a couple of days before this, and I just shared some of the guys that I've been collecting. So I just found it to be really interesting that we're in Thailand, and Bangkok is a major world city. It's massive, and there are so many creative individuals there, and it's just fun to see a robust group of artists taking on this new space and making a name for themselves.
And also the fact that you're in Thailand, so you can interact with them on the same time zone, and you're more aware of this space than, let's say, if you're in the U.S. It'd probably be quite difficult for you to dive into the Thai space.
Yeah, maybe. And I was in Bangkok. We had to go renew the kids' passports, and I reached out to a couple of these guys, and it was like, man, it would be great to go have a beer, but we had COVID restrictions, and they were still on pretty hard lockdown. And the next guy actually said he's going to come down to Phuket, said he'd meet me at Surin Beach for a beer sometime. Yeah. But we'll see. So he's got a little different style. He has these different characters that are based on sort of circle geometry.
This guy here.
Yeah. Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, okay. And it's like some sort of character running away.
Yeah. So he's got a whole sort of language about, you caught me, and when he makes the drop, see if you can catch me, sort of thing, and whatever.
Interesting.
They're cute. They're a different way of thinking about, not necessarily pixels, but using the circular patterns to generate their characters and overlapping spaces.
And how did you come up with Pigaboo? What was the reason behind that?
I think that there are many projects with animal character, so I think that pig seems to be interesting to make it as a project.
And is it pigs are one of your more favorite animals? Was that a reason as well, or was there anything else behind that?
I think that it's cute when I draw it, when I try drawing it.
That makes it simple.
There's so many cat ones, like Yakuza cats. There's simple cats. There's stoner cats. That was the Austin Kutcher one. There's who knows? There's so many cat ones. And then of course there's apes and
Shiba.
Oh yeah, her other friend, or one that she likes, is the Shiba Inu. Or
what is that?
I think it's left. Oh, actually, you went past it.
Oh, back.
Next, yeah, that one.
Bobo Shiba.
Shibas. So they're pretty cute little guys.
Is that supposed to be
but super collectible at 0.01? You can get in on early if you think this one's going to pop off and get really popular. Or if you just like it and want to make it your Twitter profile picture, then get
what makes an NFT collector or creator go viral? What are the attributes that can help that?
It's whoever's collecting it, I think, becomes a big part of it. So if someone who owns a Bored Ape or whatever the top one decides to buy one of these and starts to promote it, then they're going to get a big bump.
NFT influencer.
And yeah, that becomes a big thing.
Now, are the NFT influencers the buyers or the creators?
Both.
Buyers
Often it could just be a buyer.
mostly.
So just some white whale, big whale with
Yeah.
lots of cash that's just,
And a lot of these guys are people who got in on the crypto space early, right? And so they bought ETH and then just watched it balloon and get more and more valuable and just find ways that they can use their ETH and like increase activity within the whole space. So
I think we've covered a lot there. I think the next section we want to jump into is kind of.
can I just show the fish walkers where so there's
Oh yeah.
some
I saw that.
more
yeah.
gamification. Sorry, last one. I swear.
Yeah, no problem. This was interesting. So this is how you gamify your NFT.
It's a one way of doing it.
And now, are you
So
gambling at this point?
You're not gambling. One more. Yeah, fish walkers. So scroll down a bit. You can see you can buy these guys.
Okay.
You're doing an amazing job, Hans. I'm sorry. So scroll down. You just see that, and these guys will have stamina attributes or properties and like speed or start speed and stuff like that. And then click the next one, the next tab.
Oh, the next tab. Yeah.
The Twitter, yeah. And then you can see he'll put on events where they will race each other, and then in the top 3 there'll be a little podium, and you'll get he'll gift you an NFT for getting the winning one. So I do actually have a fish in this particular race. He's the little samurai guy.
But you've already seen this video, right?
I've already seen, of course. I know the results.
So he's just creating this this video based on the buyers on his platform.
So within the Discord, you say, I want to enter my fish into the race, and then he puts them all together. And look, I'm almost making a push here.
Let's go.
Let's go.
God,
Damn, so close.
Stupid fish one.
Yeah, well. And so yeah, this was kind of based on the original one was Zed Run, where you have these sort of crystal looking horses that run and race each other, and you can sort of I guess you can make side bets and do whatever.
These are just more creative ways to get your community involved.
Yeah, just to get engagement.
Yeah. Is there anything that you do or you're planning to do in your roadmap for like creative engagement or gamifying?
I hope so too, to create a game that people who hold this specific NFT will have the character of that in the game as well.
And you would have to be the creator of the game and have someone maybe create a mobile game itself in which your NFT holders could bring their characters into that game.
Yeah, like if they connect the wallet, what they buy will appear in the game.
Yeah, I was watching something the other day, and everyone I think should check this out. It's called ALETHEA. It's like ALETHEA. You want to pull this up? It is insane. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. ALETHEA, and then call it like NFT. We got Pornhub popping up. Right? I'm joking. NFT and then dash space AI. It says AI, like, yeah, that one. Oh my God. So what this is, they're creating a metaverse for a place in which you bring your NFTs to their platform with artificial intelligence. So you could take your Pigaboo and you bring it over here, right? And now your Pigaboo will become trained in AI, and you can have a conversation with it and it will reply to you.
Yikes.
Based on different parameters that you've set for the AI. Like, well, I mean, if you could set it as like, I want them to be this percentage happy, this percentage enthusiastic, blah, blah, blah. You set up the parameters in this system and it brings your NFT to life, and you could have a full-on conversation with it.
Wow.
Insane.
Interesting.
Check this. I think this is going to be crazy, but that's another level. That's why they show the Bored Ape there as well. So the next thing we'll do, let's jump into the Q&A, and Lex prepared some questions and also some questions that you were asked on a previous podcast, and we'll pull those up because again, it is quite technical. So
we actually covered a lot of this stuff. So let me just think. Oh, I want to ask you, is there a project that gave you what project or something out there that gave you a level of FOMO? Like, do you collect much?
I didn't collect much, but I think that I am interested in Cool Cat so much.
Oh, Cool
but
Cats.
I'm too late to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the project that people will FOMO is that they will have amazing art and solid roadmap and also a strong community that will make the project go so far. I think.
Yeah, Cool Cats. I think that's the one that Mike Tyson made a profile picture for a short period of time, and that brought up its popularity real quick.
The art is like my type.
Yeah, it's very
I
similar. Similar to Simple Cat, similar to Pigaboo.
Yeah, you get these influencers behind you. And I'm sure if you're paying them money to push your product, I mean, that's just marketing dollars, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know how much people do that, but I'm still a big time amateur here, even though I've been in the space a bit and playing around. But yeah, it's cool. So FOMO, yeah, I get all the cats mixed up. Like I said, there's so
too many, right?
Cool cats. They're like kind of bluish greenish. Yeah.
Blue one.
The blue one.
Cat
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we probably covered a lot, but
yeah, honestly, we covered most of it.
One part is when people go to OpenSeas, maybe it's easier. Sorry, Hans, we love you. Pull up OpenSeas because I want to show the difference between understanding sports, collectibles, utilities, so people don't get lost on OpenSeas, that it's actually NFTs are not just basic graphics. As you brought up, the ninja guy you brought up, what was his name? Dwan? Or was it
the gangster one?
The gangster one. That was a GIF. It's not a still image. So
it can be anything. It can be a song or music.
Yeah. So I think there's a section on OpenSeas. Pull that up. Go to. I think would you go to search? I can't.
Okay. Why don't you go to Bonza? Or I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something different to show, but
maybe go to explore, that button down there. Oh, domain. Yeah. Okay. So here you go. So we've pulled this up and you see many different things such as art, music, domain names, virtual worlds, trading cards, collectibles, sports, utilities. Now, I'm assuming the Pigaboo would be classified as a collectible?
Yes.
Okay, and maybe Lex could define that. What are, let's say, let's keep it simple. Like, what would be the difference between art and a collectible as in terms of like categorizing?
I don't see the difference. I think you're just sort of subgenres of something that's more your idea of what a traditional piece of art would be. So more like we're not looking at attributes or things like that. We're just either computer generated things that are people doing through code or things they're doing on their digital platforms between Procreate or 3D programs, Blender and all these different things that people use.
So would one of those where it says worlds, would that essentially be where you would find the Sandbox and the decentral world? Like go to virtual worlds?
Good question.
Like, is this how they would be categorized? I'm assuming yes.
Looks like it, yeah.
This is where you're going to find your metaverses. Yep, there it is, Sandbox. Fuck, I am smart. There is Decentraland. There is the Sandbox. And people also... You have Decentraland names. So if you're looking to purchase metaverses, and people need to understand, it's just Mark Zuckerberg that coined this word metaverse. It's actually just, I guess the real world would be virtual worlds. It's no different than, Kleenex claiming tissue paper. So these are your virtual worlds if you're looking to buy real estate. Now, it's also another question of which virtual world will become, the Instagram or the TikTok or the Facebook of the virtual worlds. This part just blows my mind. I love this part. I mean, because essentially if you get the right companies that are living in these worlds, therefore the land itself is just going to shoot up in value because their communities are going to be all hanging out in this world. And that's where you're going to want to be. I was watching one, I believe it was on the Sandbox, where stores such as like Sotheby's end up purchasing land, and then you can enter their land and enter their store essentially to look at different products. So it's almost like a Web 3.0 platform for marketing your product as well.
And another way to like have your own little gallery and display all of your NFTs as well. So that's what individuals could do with it as part of it.
This is again, I think us even discussing this at this point of time, it's we're a little bit ahead of what's about to happen.
Yeah. And like I said, not an expert. I'm just in a fun space to sort of explore.
And I think a lot of the stuff that we are discussing, people need to go do their own research as well. And
find what you like.
So much we've went over on that side. Were there any other questions for the Q&A, or we kind of covered a lot of that?
I think we pretty much covered it in our discussions.
Some of the stuff, and I'll start with you, Mix. People get lost in the fact that NFTs are just graphics, just for purchasing, just for monetary value. How else can NFTs be used?
I think that it can be anything else apart from the art. It can be like music or song. So those who are not artists can also join NFT as well. And also, like, if you are not a creator or you are a programmer, you can be a part of the project as well to be responsible for the code of smart contract. Or even you are the game developer, you can also join this platform as well to make like the game is compatible with the NFT they buy. And also like those who are good at marketing can also be part of the project to help boost the community or find a collector for the project as well. Yeah,
so the ecosystem itself, people need to realize it's not just the creator. There's a lot of people involved.
Many part of
it's a giant ecosystem just from the developers, the game side, even to the back end, people involved in the software as well. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. As you're saying, like author identification, she's saying musicians, right? So that's basically the idea, is that you don't just have to be a digital artist or a traditional artist and making these, JPEGs or GIFs. It could be applied to authorship of a book. So I heard a really good example on the Prof G podcast with Mark Cuban as a guest. And Cuban offered the idea of like textbooks, right? So you go to university textbooks, you buy it for the semester. It's very expensive to buy the new one, but then the student sells the textbook back to the school bookstore, and the next buyer buys it at a fraction of the price, but the original author doesn't get a kickback. Now, if you put that on the blockchain and make it an NFT, when that student sells their book at the end of the semester, the author's going to get a kickback, which could actually eventually drive down the price of the initial book. So that these, because textbooks in university can be exorbitant.
Yeah.
And so that's just another example of giving author authentication and be able to continue to generate revenue from their creative content. Another one is I always forget the name of it. Co-op, where like a ticket stub in a way, where proof of being at an event. So, people collect ticket stubs and people buy them on eBay or whatever else. But a POAP, P-O-A-P, proof of attendance protocol. So they'll set up these treasure hunts. So in New York, just had a big NFT takeover where a bunch of creators and collectors got together, and there's all sorts of events and talks and concerts. But then there'll be like a treasure hunt that'll lead you to this place, scan the QR code, and you get a certificate, like a coin, that proves that you were there, that you were part of, whatever this historical event. Same thing, that same POAP company, am I saying that right? Yeah, POAP. They did a thing with Wimbledon. So to prove that you were at Wimbledon 2021.
So you don't need to save your ticket stub in a shoebox and put it in your closet and look at it in 30 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems real personal. I don't know why someone would want to buy that on secondary, but maybe, they watched it on TV, they connected with it, and they wanted to have a little piece of that history. So there's just so many fun things that pop up, like it's limited really, like on how it can be applied. And it's just real exciting to hear people come up with new ideas of how it can be. And I've got some ideas about animations and the gamification of life and putting up your NFTs together.
Well, like we were discussing before as well, like NFTs can be used for document verification, such as the deed to your home, lawyer contracts, your license, your passport, blueprints, anything that requires document verification, which can, again, this is a very costly thing nowadays, especially like if you're doing business in Dubai and doing business in, let's say, Hong Kong. So sometimes you need to send documents between two places. That has to be sent usually by FedEx or DHL, and the cost alone to send those documents can be between $50 to $200. If you're able to verify that through the blockchain, through NFT, you can think of how much that's going to save as well, especially for these larger corporations that are involved in property and real estate development.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just giving crypto more, viability. Although, of course, some of these altcoins are going to disappear. You don't know which ones are necessarily going to make it through. Like you said, the .com era.
Yeah.
Which companies are going to remain triumphant, but you can probably bet on the Solanas, the Cardanos, the Ethereums to have longevity.
Do you see platforms like OpenSea? Are you only on OpenSeas?
Yes, I'm only on OpenSea, but the other platform that is very popular is Foundation, but it will be like quite different from OpenSea because on OpenSea people will do like the collection project more, like the avatar style that are suitable for using as a profile picture. But for Foundation, people will like dedicate to one piece of NFT to make it like very beautiful or something like that.
So different functionalities of NFTs might become more dominant on different platforms. Like I was saying with NFT documentation verification, that might be on a different NFT entirely where it's being controlled over there. So so I still don't understand the major difference between Foundation and OpenSeas, meaning the type of art?
It's like the collector are different. I think that most people who collect on Foundation are like, they really like the artwork and they just hold the cryptocurrency, so they just want to collect them. But for those who are on OpenSea, most of them will like buy NFT because they think that it can like give them back some benefit.
Okay, so OpenSeas is more for day trading.
Yeah.
So OpenSeas is open. Anyone can participate, sell, buy, whatever. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but Rarible, it's more of there's gatekeepers that if you want to be a creator, you have to be invited in a way, I think.
Okay. So yeah, it's more of like a club style.
You have to be more of an established artist already.
Yeah, it's not like anyone can show up.
I've never purchased anything. Actually, maybe I have. But I think it is a more closed system for creators.
Yeah, there's someone I did want to pull up. I saw the other day, we have there's a guy in Phuket, Goldie, and well, he's living on the island, and he's a very famous DJ from the pioneer of jungle. If you want to check on OpenSeas, I saw him post on his Instagram, and if not, we'll jump to his Instagram. Maybe just go to search and just type in Goldie. I saw him posting something for like, I must have been 2 ETH. Let's see if anything pops up. Yeah, it's probably going to be hard to find him on there. So go to Instagram. Yeah, Hans is crushing it today. Okay, so I'll explain it a bit. So on Goldie's side on Instagram, I saw him posting something, but I want to discuss with you guys so you can explain a bit more of what it is exactly. To me, it almost looked like a video, but I think it was related to one of his earlier records, if not his first one. He would click on the foundation. Yeah.
This guy's in Phuket?
Yeah, this guy's in Phuket. He just started, he's an artist as well as a DJ, but yeah, so he's doing a lot, and you can see his price there, 1.8 Ether, 1 Ether, 2.8, sold. Wow. Sold at 2.2. Obviously, he's new into the NFT space. This is, I'm sure if you looked at the listing, it cannot be that old. I just saw him post on the Instagram. So what is this here? Is this a video? Is this that's the one that I liked on the left, this one. Is this a video? What is that?
You can be an MP4.
It's an MP4.
M4P, whatever.
So this would require some sort of 3D rendering then.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So yeah, of course he's got to charge a bit more. I mean, that's not cheap to put together. Do you see yourself, Mix, going down into this world of doing some maybe 3D animation, or
Hopefully.
just keep it?
But I can draw more in that still picture. But if it's animation part, I will let my brother-in-law do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he can do that.
He has the ability to do the
Yes.
animation side as well.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, I think we've covered a lot. How long are we? We got to be an hour. Oh, that's so. I think we've covered quite a bit. I swear I had something else I wanted to go over as well. On your side, are you because you're involved on the NFT side, are you also involved in the crypto world? Are you trading cryptocurrency?
No, but my brother-in-law do that.
Oh, okay.
And he also I play the game that is play to earn as well. But I also want to
There's
try
crazy
that.
things like alien worlds where you're just mining Terillium, their local currency, and you can actually change it into wax or another. You can actually turn it into real money, which is pretty nuts. You can just mine crypto and
In a metaverse.
yeah, it's just a game.
It's a game.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's over my head.
there's a few of them like that.
My God.
Wax is a whole nother platform. You know, people have their thoughts on it. Some people love it. Some people can't be bothered with it. That's the thing, is you can't really be an expert in all of them. You kind of just have to pick one. So if you just want to be into the Ethereum blockchain and all the things that are happening there, it's really hard to pick up all of the other ones. So you might pick up one or two, like maybe I want to start to dabble in Cardano. I think a lot of people, I mean, like I said, Tezos, XTZ is the code for that one. It's been a really popular space for it as well.
What would you suggest? I'll start with Mix and then come to Lex on this question. But what would you suggest of people that are first getting into the space of NFT as a creator? What steps should they take? What are some advice you have for them? Anything related along those lines?
I would like to tell them, like, don't be hesitant to join NFT, because right now the market is always like grow up every day, right?
Yeah.
And what they need to like try to figure out is the basic stuff about NFT, like how to connect wallet or how to deposit or withdraw the money, something like that. Because it's very important to know this kind of basic stuff. And also they need to like try to study how the market goes, because it changes all the time. Like when I step into NFT around like April, people just sell the picture, right? The normal one. But after that, the profile picture market also like comes. And after that, the NFT project with Metaverse like comes as well. Only a few months later, there are a lot of things happen in the NFT space, and also like the NFT with game or NFT with utility. So we have to keep up with the market so that we can be here for a long term.
What is NFT with utility? Because I came across that as well.
Just like holding NFT and get on coin, something like that, and you will get benefit in the future. And there are many type of utility that one project can have. Yeah, sometimes you can just like be a part of project that will buy BC or Phuket, and then they will like fractionalize it into like small pieces, and then the NFT holders can be a part of that and get the benefit as well.
So yeah, there's kickback to the community. So there will be a community wallet, and they'll go buy other NFTs and part of the collections and give it back to the holders as like, you know, random prizes and things like that. So utility also, they also can declare that they're going to give a portion of their proceeds to charities, and that happens quite a lot as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the major point. This whole world of NFTs, it seems like something new is happening with it every day, whether it's opening a metaverse, whether it's this utility side. I mean, the limits for creativity are not limited.
It seems that like the longer you are in this market, it's not just like only sell the picture. It's something more than that can happen every day.
Can this ever go head to head with like the art world or the antique world? Do you know what I mean by that?
I don't think it has to go head to head. I mean, so people wondered about that. The art market is still as robust as it has been. I mean, the gatekeepers of that, like the Sotheby's and the other auction houses, you know, that high-end stuff hasn't taken a hit at the expense of NFTs. Just like baseball cards and that stuff isn't taking a hit because of Top Shot and stuff. They're all, people just want to, you know, collect and spend money, I guess, you know. There seems to be space for everyone.
In your community, do you, when you are on Discord and you're chatting with your community, and I won't go too deep to explain Discord, but I mean, it's similar to Twitch, but different. It's more of like community engagement, and you can create different groups and chat groups all within one community. So it's essentially, it's a giant chat group, let's call it, where you engage with your community. What kind of feedback do you get in that community that you apply to your work, or do you listen at all? And maybe talk about that a bit.
Actually, at first, my second project, Pigaboo NFT, I set the supply as like 10,000 supply, right? And then I got a feedback that right now NFT community is like quite tough, and they asked me to reduce the supply into like 3K or something like that. And I think that NFT community is something that we value, so we just apply the suggestion so that we can like make the project like go longer.
Make it more collectible.
Making it more rare. See, like if I was to open, let's say, fruiting body, whatever NFT, like
your little mushroom PFPs, like
if I just take the logo and just make it a 1 of 1 and put it at 10 ETH.
I want 5%.
I'm gonna lose all my money. I'm getting shaken down here. Okay, that's something I would be interested in doing at some point. But I think you need the right amount of following. That's why I was quite gun ho and bullish on the fact that these big YouTube accounts, well, they should be able to take advantage of NFT, especially these. Let's say we had Chris Parker on, and he's quite a bigger YouTube account in Thailand and has 170,000 subscribers, but he has a very engaged community. If he was to take that community, bring it over to NFTs, I believe he could do quite well as well.
You'd have to gauge how many of them are already in the space. How many of them would actually adopt this now just because he's there? That's like with her and her comic books. She didn't have the same audience from one platform to the next. So, I mean, if you have thousands and thousands of users, chances are you'll have a percentage of them, small percentage of them that already have a MetaMask wallet and some crypto. But how many are you going to get to adopt it just for you?
Yeah, and it's hard. Yeah, do you find it difficult to bring people from other platforms to the NFT platform?
You mean which platform?
You're talking about like your initial like comic book community and trying to bring them over to the NFT. You were saying that's something you didn't even attempt. Are you considering trying to track those people down and bringing them through the funnel to your NFT account, or is that something that's not?
Maybe it's quite hard.
Quite difficult
to move from that.
Yeah, no, I understand as well, because they need to be already in that NFT community to even convert them as a buyer as well.
But maybe when Facebook have Meta, that they may like change the Facebook user to get into the cryptocurrency world. It might be something that can happen too.
That makes sense.
So something that is exciting that's coming up, and it will be, I'm sure, adapted by Facebook and Instagram, but on Twitter will be the first one to do it, where you can connect your wallet and it'll automatically see what NFTs you have, and you select from your personal collection, make that your profile picture, and you'll get like a verification just like you do with the name. So you have verification of ownership of your NFT. That is your profile, which is exciting for a lot of these collectors.
To verify that you are that Twitter account is yours via being authenticated by the NFT.
Both, I guess it works both ways, but verifying that the profile picture that you are currently using is actually owned by you. So, because you get a lot of people just drag and drop Bored Ape and make it their profile picture. Right now, there's no way to verify other than being called out by the community,
saying like it's not actually your Bored Ape.
You don't own that. You just took that. So, because I teach in China, like I said, and I have kids that draw Bored Apes. They don't even know what they are, and it's like I see them as their profile pictures within the school ecosystem on our Microsoft 360. And so when I type to them in Teams or something, their picture is like Steph Curry's Twitter handle, and I'm like, "Oh, you're into Bored Apes, huh?" He's like, "What's a Bored Ape?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's your profile picture." And it's like, "Oh no, I just use it because Steph Curry uses it." I was like, "Oh well, actually, you shouldn't use it unless you own it. Are you gonna buy one?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll ask my mom for Christmas."
Yeah. And it's only what, $20,000.
It's like, yeah. And I told him how much they are. It's like, "Oh well, maybe in the future. It's just a dream for now." But it's so funny to have this conversation because they're actually they're drawing it in the margins. These different things they're just popping up into popular culture. Which is pretty phenomenal to think that it's happening in China, and I'm sure it's happening in Western countries.
Yeah, and these influencers are the ones that are able to push these.
Well, that's the thing. If you get someone like a Steph Curry
Yeah.
or a Mike Tyson or one of these celebrities getting into these spaces, I think what's his name, Jimmy Fallon uses a Bored Ape now for his profile picture. So you get mass adoption and super, I don't know, FOMO from people, and they want to be a part of it.
Well, and I was reading about listening to that as well. Also, that you need to be careful too, because the supply is there's too much supply. right? I mean, and the demand is kind of selective, focused on they show you your top rankings, but essentially this could be a repeat of the .com era in which everyone invested too heavily in all these different, let's say domain names or building websites, and different websites flop and fail, that like you need to be quite strategic and selective when making that decision on which creators and which product to go after as well. Okay, I think we've covered a lot, because also we can do another NFT because it's always growing and there's much more to learn from it as well. Maybe in a couple months, and we'll take questions and see how people react to this, and information that's missing, and also reaching out to other people and maybe doing a panel or something. We'll throw it back to Mix, and this is your camera. So just explain to the audience like all the different places they can find you, such as your website, Instagram, and Twitter handles, and how they can message you as well.
Okay. You can follow my work. For the first project, Timixabie NFT, you can follow Timixabie NFT on Twitter, and also timixabienft.com, which is a website of my project. And then the second project, which is Pigaboo NFT, it is the Twitter at Pigaboo NFT, and pigabooNFT.club, which is a website of my project. And you can DM me on Instagram as well, which is Timixabie. Yeah.
Okay. And what I'll do, I'll put all those links, also links in the description of all that stuff in the YouTube, which will also go over to the audio as well. So it's easy. They can just go click and that will direct there, and you can send her a DM. No weird dudes sending her DMs. All right. Or I'll come at you. All right. Lex has plugged himself before, but hey, let's give him another one.
I didn't actually plug myself last time. I remember I plugged you.
Oh, really?
So
nice.
I gave you the good kudos. But no, on Twitter, I'm Jive Guru, JIVEGURU. I am Jive Guru. It's been a gaming handle that I use forever, and just kind of like to draw it. So typography wise, it's got a cool G and a J and an I together. So
what about the sunsets on Instagram?
That's just Alexei MC, just more of a personal thing. So I always kind of keep my platforms a little bit separate. But
so the best Twitter is kind of where
Twitter is where I engage with the NFT community, and I'm terrible at self promoting and stuff. So I have like 125 followers.
That's gonna.
So let's try to get that up to 200.
Let's get it up to 126. Come on, guys.
126.
All right, that's the end of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit notifications, all that smashing buttons and stuff. That's our NFT episode. If you'd like us to do another one, let us know what you thought. Tell us in the comments. I mean, well, if you've listened to this, it's kind of getting close on 2 hours, so congratulations. And we're out.